quick presentation here. This is sometimes going to be an assignment that will be required and sometimes going to be an extra credit assignment. Make sure that you check on Canvas on the modules page to see whether it's required or not. So this is called acting out a work of art. I want you to become a work of art, and I'm going to show you various examples. So the only requirement that is in the assignment is that you perform an act. Now, how much of yourself we see in the picture is totally up to you. So you can be very obvious that it's you performing the work, or it could be an abstraction of you. You could wear a pyramid or a sheet or something like that, show just a part of your eye, things like that. But some of your body must be in the photo performing the artwork. And this is what some of this would look like. So what I want you to do is I want you to send me the work of art that you're using. I would like to know who the artist is, what the title is, what the date it is, any information you could find on it. And then I also want you to send out the photo of you performing the work. I think when you perform the work, you don't have to get it exact. You don't have to make the exact costumes and everything, but it should be clear enough where it's coming from. Like the student on the right, it's very clear that it's coming from the artwork on the left. You can see it in the way that she's posing and the way that she's looking. She's trying to capture what is that painted figure feeling or thinking. That's the kind of acting out that I want you to really think about. And then she's sitting on the box, there's a drapery there, that soft white light in the painting is coming in through the window, and I don't ask questions where you get the human skull at or if it's real or not. I'm just interested in, did you perform this out? So I have seen a number of examples in various classes performing out works of art. When God Creates Adam, done by some high school students here when I taught the class at Fullerton College in the summer. Here we're in the hallway of Fullerton in the art building. They're doing Vitruvius Man. This is a student acting out Caravaggio's Medusa's head. And again, really thinking about getting the head, the figure right. I think the green jacket for the green background is also a nice touch too. And I generally get things over and over, and I want you to be original rather than just copying what you're seeing. I think with the Mona Lisa, it's a matter of getting the look on her face as well as the pose. I like him wearing the towel instead of the hair. I think that's very funny. I think certainly these portraits have really captured the spirit of the personality of the paintings really, really well. The blue guitarist here, you can, yes, affix certain filters if you want to when making the work if necessary. I would rather never see this Banksy again, the guy throwing the bouquet of flowers. Seen that many, many times. I do like the Banksy here and the no future in paper because you want to get the deposit back on your apartment. Also seen the Scream a lot of times. So I think what's interesting in the Scream is, again, capturing the look. And then if you can capture that long perspective space, I think that works too. The red in the sky here is a nice touch. But I also think it's interesting the things that kind of end up in this work that's not in the original work. Like the guy that just happened to be walking his dog here, I think is a really funny addition into the Scream that this student is performing. Here we're seeing Goya ripping the head off of a body. A couple people doing this with this one is probably closer to the figure here. And again, I think the crazy look is important, but I also think it's interesting here, the washer and dryer in the background. So again, you're performing it, but you don't have to make it exact. It can have differences. Here with St. Francis giving his cloak away, we're seeing St. Francis here in his own bedroom with the cloak. There's not a second person, obviously, but I think the interesting thing he does is taping the paper plate to his head as a sign of his being a saint and being holy, with the disc going around the saint in the painting. Remember when we saw this Vermeer, how we saw the woman weighing her jewelry with the Last Judgment behind her? Here we've got the Virgin of Guadalupe behind her. And again, the light is kind of similar, the pose is kind of similar. It's a very good reproduction. I've seen some good Frida Kahlo work in doing this assignment. I think with Frida, it's a matter of really capturing her attitude. And I think she has the attitude probably better than she has right here. Although she does a great job, I think, with the dog, with the jewelry and everything else. I think both of these are pretty solid. The way the student sucks his cheeks in here to represent the dead friend of Picasso, who is doing a painting in the style of Van Gogh. Here we have Grant Wood's American Gothic, and American Gothic is about a farmer and his daughter. The pitchfork and the way the guy is looking at us is telling us, don't try to date my daughter. And the daughter seems to be very, very upset about this, maybe wants to go on a date every once in a while. Here, he's got the mean look. He's changed the pitchfork for the barbecue fork. He has photoshopped in the house. The Adidas shirt, I think, is an interesting deviation. And then, what happened to the daughter? Did she finally just have enough of it and leave? Is she buried in the backyard? All these questions kind of arise in this particular version. Van Gogh with his ear cut off, with someone kindly putting the image on their phone in the background. This is a Leonardo da Vinci, a girl with an ermine. An ermine is an animal that was used to hunt rats in the Renaissance. And here we've replaced the ermine with a cat, and I have never seen an animal less willing to be in an art project than this particular cat. This is a Van Gogh painting with a man in despair next to the fireplace. She's got the boots, got the despair, and then the fire is an image on the television screen that they made. I think this one's a lot of fun, personally. Girl kissing the mirror. This is one of my very favorite ones here, because he's created the little blue discs from the Mogladini, and he's got the yellow shirt on. But I love Dad watching television in the background while this is going. I think that's a really, again, nice deviation in the original. Frida cutting her hair, again, another really good one. I think this one also is really nice. So here we have the original. Anytime you see bars in a painting like this, you're never sure if you're inside the prison or outside of the prison. Could be either way, depending on how you see it. He's got the sheet for the toga, and we've got the bars. I like the hose here. He's got the far-off look on his face, and rather than the knife, he is carrying a carrot. And any of these that have a sense of humor to them, I think, is really funny. Like Magritte's Man with a Pipe, he has changed the pipe to a weed pipe, and then he photoshopped the hat on, but did not cover his own hair completely. And again, I find that really very humorous in this. Very good version of Van Eyck's self-portrait that we looked at earlier in the class. Exceptional version of The Thinker. So what I'd like you to do is to reproduce the work. Give me an example of the work you're reproducing, the photo of you acting it out, and there will either be credit for the assignment or extra credit for the assignment. This is a pretty fun assignment. I hope you enjoy it. Talk to you soon.